was wondering when Trump is going to create an executive order to overturn the Smiths and Munns Act, where the media continues to lie to the American people. Because I am tired of watching these lying-ass media outlets talk about MAGAs and how we somehow regret our vote. I don't know if you guys understand this, but we don't. Stop lying on us. In fact, how about y'all focus on other aspects of this country instead of using your platform to continuously tear down the president of the United States every day? Because it's giving obsessed. You guys have become so obsessed with trying to make this man seem as if he's just the most horrible president. You forget what we just went through over the last 4 years. I'm just confused as to when we become so comfortable with the media lying to us.
100% agreed with my fellow patriot here at the beginning of this video. Ain't nobody mad about their vote for Trump. The only people you hear saying this foolishness is a bunch of stupid liberals saying this. You don't see a bunch of Republicans out there, man, Trump, F this, I ain't with you no more. You don't see anybody saying that. If you regret your vote for Trump, please go to the comments and let me know I regret my vote for Trump, and here's why. Because this man is a mastermind, okay? He set these deals up that a bunch of stupid leftists were too slow and too behind the curve to understand.
Latest statement regarding his America First trade plan. As you all know, the president just put out a statement announcing an additional tariff on China. The tariff on China will now go up to 125% because China imprudently decided to retaliate against the United States. And as I said at the podium yesterday, when you punch at the United States of America, President Trump is going to punch back harder. In that same vein, we have had more than 75 countries from around the world reach out to President Trump and his team here at the White House to negotiate better trade deals for the American worker. We have been overwhelmed with the amount of requests from countries around the world. I'll let the Secretary speak to that. We will continue with the tailor-made negotiations that I spoke about yesterday. In the meantime, there will be a 90-day pause on the reciprocal tariffs as these negotiations are ongoing, and the tariff level will be brought down to a universal 10% tariff.
And we saw the successful negotiating strategy that President Trump implemented a week ago today. It has brought more than 75 countries forward to negotiate. It took great courage for him to stay the course until this moment. And what we have ended up with here, as I told everyone a week ago, they are in this very spot. Do not retaliate, and you will be rewarded.
If you tell everybody, well, if things get bad enough, I'll just pause the tariffs. If you tell everybody that from the beginning, obviously they're not going to make a deal. They're just going to wait it out. Donald Trump saying, nope, no negotiation. Well, we're going to negotiate, but we're not lowering these tariffs. We're not removing them because these people have been taking advantage of us for too long. And we're going to be very firm in everything that we're doing. But of course, the reality of every situation is that anything could always change at any time. Anybody who's smart knows that. Donald Trump can't just come right out and say that because some of these people are so Trump deranged. They're actually going to believe that he's just going to put something in place and no matter what, it's not going to change. You got to be stupid to believe that. And apparently that's what some of these people in the fake news believe. But Donald Trump has been playing chess and they've been playing checkers. Okay, they're playing backgammon. They're stuck on dominoes or something. They're playing something weak. Meanwhile, Donald Trump is playing strategic war games. Okay, he's playing the art of the deal. He's been like this for a good chunk of his life, damn near all of his adult life. So of course, you mean to tell me Donald Trump is smarter at making deals than a bunch of radical leftists who never made deals their entire life, who've been allowing China and other nations to screw us over for decades on end? Of course, these people don't know what the hell they're talking about. They lack execution. They lack vision. And they're pissed at Trump for being so much better than them, even though the Dow Jones has soared like 2,500 to 3,000 points.
Do you think he cares? Because if he did, he wouldn't do it. He doesn't give a rip. It's a crapshoot to him. He thrives on the fear and chaos that he creates. Tariffs are causing prices to go up. Trump and his buddies don't give a rip about all of this, but in real life, people are having a hard time. He is a cruel bully, and I'm waiting for the Republicans to stand up to this cruel bully.
The damage has already been done, and that uncertainty remains. Just the prospect of additional tariffs down the road, whether it's 90 days or not, is going to keep their prices up. He's doing it in the wrong way. America first to Donald Trump when it comes to foreign policy means America alone.
You can't undo the damage. The Trump slump is upon us now, and whatever he will try to do in the future does not undo the damage. This chaos seems to be just a game for Donald Trump, but it is really real, very real. How can you believe anything they say when they change their opinion from hour to hour, day to day, week to week? I don't have any faith in the fact that this has been thought out, planned out, and will lead to any good result at all. He thinks it's a game. He almost thinks it's fun. Well, for 330 million Americans, this is not fun at all.
So I like the fact that the stock market the entire time is like just skyrocketing in the bottom right corner of the video the entire time that these radical leftists just sit up here and cry and bitch and moan about everything that Trump is doing. They also said that you couldn't undo the damage. What you can't undo the damage of is the record inflation that Joe Biden caused during his administration. What you can't do the damage of is some of these people's lives that have been impacted and ruined forever, such as Laken Riley, Jocelyn Nungary, and millions of others who were impacted by the crime statistics that they fraudulently hid. Remember when they said the FBI said the crime was down, then later on they kind of quietly said that crime was actually up per FBI again. And what you can't also undo the damage of is billions of dollars spent on all of these illegal migrants that have come into the country, prepaid credit cards, building up all of these facilities, putting all of these kids in school, like people having new children, all these government benefits that went to them in the communities that were impacted and ruined forever in some cases by this complete travesty that the administration caused. That's something that you can't undo. But I heard you ignore all of that stuff previously and then only focus on calling everybody some sort of racist or bigot for calling it out. That costs tons of money. It caused massive inflation with the Inflation Reduction Act, which was the Green New Scam. But now you're sitting over here, all of a sudden you care about people's 401ks now? You didn't care about grocery prices, which is the main reason why Trump got elected? Maybe if you would have cared about that a lot more prior to the election, then you could have got Kamala Harris or Joe Biden to actually win. But since you didn't, that's why you got your ass kicked.
Because, you know, there were many things that we knew would happen. Many things. I'm not here, so I told you so.
Another thing, he said that it seems like it's fun to Donald Trump. Well, I actually agree with stupid behind Fossil Chuck over here, because it is fun watching y'all melt down all the time for something that previously in the past you agreed was a great idea.
Yeah, please. Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi, they've been talking about tariffs for decades.
How far does China have to go? How much more repression? How big a trade deficit and loss of jobs for the American worker?
It says to the Chinese that their unfair trade policies have got to end. It says to the Chinese, this is a shot across your bow. Reform, because if you don't, there are going to be dramatic consequences.
How come when these Democrat elites want tariffs, everything's hunky-dory, but when President Trump wants tariffs, all hell breaks loose? Do you see this double standard?
I love this guy, whoever the hell that is. That's really nice. I appreciate that question. No, Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, everybody knew you had to do it, but they never had the guts to do it. It does take guts. It even takes guts for our country to go through it. That's why I say be cool. They were saying about, see, just be cool. It's going to work out. It's going to work out, and it's working out. I can tell you, working out maybe faster than I thought. But I said it's going to take a little conditioning. It's a transition to. It's really, I think it's a transition to greatness. It's going to be greatness. Our country is going to be. There'll be nothing like it. And people investing in our country, they're going to do better than they've ever done before.
But now all of a sudden that Trump wants to do it, it's the end of the freaking world and the sky is falling. These people, make me sick, guys, because they are just begging for anything to complain about. Schumer didn't even answer the question about, like, hey, what did you do during all of this time that you've been in government and been in Congress for way more time than Donald Trump has been in government? Donald Trump has been in government less than a decade. Schumer has been in government and in Congress for literal decades and hasn't done a damn thing.
You've been in the Senate for much longer than President Trump has been the president. Do you think that there were missed opportunities from previous U.S. leaders in the way?
Well, look, what previous leaders have done is nothing, whether you agree or disagree. It's not close. The damage that he has done here is just magnitudes worse.
And want to sit over here and complain about Donald Trump actually doing something. These people are pathetic. They want the status quo so bad. Okay, they want to keep doing their little insider trading and funneling money through all of these woke behind organizations like USID so that they can keep making their millions. Meanwhile, they're bending Americans over a table and clapping American cheeks. That's what they want. And they don't want Americans to have a damn chance to do anything about it. Trump is doing more than giving us a chance. He's giving us a fighting chance. We built this coalition so that we could defeat these globalists, defeat these radical leftists, defeat these crazy corporations working with the radical left and the globalists to take over America and the world. And these people are salty as hell that Trump is doing something about it. Well, I say get bent out of shape. I hope it hurts your feelings. The Trump derangement is off the charts and I'm loving it. Like I told y'all, every damn day I'm happy waking up knowing that these leftists are pissed off, that they're hurt, and that they're in emotional turmoil, and that they can't sleep at night knowing that their money is just flying right out the window and coming back into our pockets. But these are just my thoughts, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I appreciate y'all watching the Black Anomaly Rising channel. And do not disrespect Teflon Don. This guy is the master of the deal. I don't know how many more times it needs to be proven to you, but it's time to wake up. I'm out.
Somebody had to do what we did, and I did a 90-day pause for the people that didn't retaliate, because I told them if you retaliate, we're going to double it. And that's what I did with China, because they did retaliate. So we'll see how it all works out. I think it's going to work out amazing. I think that our country is going to be at the end of a year or shorter, but I think we're going to have something that nobody would have dreamt possible.